Now we hear the president just yesterday in a press conference, he said, he's not really worried about a double-dip recession. Well, I can tell you, President Obama, I'm incredibly worried about a double-dip recession. I think most American people are as well. And yet our president is totally disengaged. He sent his vice president to negotiate, what? Maybe once a week? Twice a week? We are facing a debt crisis, and our president is just phoning it in. I find that very disappointing.
That was freshman Republican Senator Ron Johnson from Wisconsin earlier today. It was a very blunt assessment of the behavior of President Obama, which raised some eyebrows on Capitol Hill. Here now to explain why he is so frustrated with the White House, Senator Ron Johnson himself. Senator, I know you've had a busy day. We deeply appreciate you joining us on Freedom Watch. Thanks for being here.
Well, Judge, thanks for having me on.
What got you going? What made you say that the president is not serious about addressing the debt? He's, quote, just phoning it in.
Well, Judge, I've been here 5 months now. Prior to that, I'd watched Washington for 31 years. I knew how broken this place is, and nothing I've seen here in 5 months has changed my mind. I mean, let's face it, in the last 3 years, we've added $4.3 trillion to our nation's debt. The President Obama just dropped his budget, on the Congress 2 months ago to great fanfare, said it was going to be the solution to our problem. We voted on it last week, or 2 weeks ago. It failed 0 to 97 because it was going to add $13 trillion to our debt. I mean, he's not serious, and the fact of the matter is, rather than being engaged, I think the point I made is, as a business person, any businessman or woman who would be facing bankruptcy, they'd roll up their sleeves, they'd be working 16, 17, 18 hours a day to save their business. Why isn't the president doing that?
Well,
what else could possibly be more important? So yeah, I'm a little frustrated. I would like to see the president show leadership. I mean, that's kind of the definition of being president, right? Being a leader, and he's not being one.
Senator, I think your criticism is so profound because it's not ideological. Your criticism is of him not doing his basic job. The debt crisis is very serious. He claims he understands it, but he's not even willing to negotiate seriously with Republican leadership in the Senate and Republican leadership in the House in order to address it. Let's see. He thinks he can start a war without going to Congress. Does he think he can borrow money and spend money without authorization from the Congress?
I guess he does. Judge, I was with the president a couple weeks ago when 44 senators, Republican senators, went to talk to him about this issue. And trust me, on our side, we understand how urgent the problem is. We want to work with the president and anybody on the other side who is willing to take the situation seriously and fix the problem. But I'm afraid, I think after that meeting, the president just went off to raise money, raise $1 billion for his reelection. I think that's all he's worried about, and that is incredibly unfortunate.
Will the Republicans in the Senate deny him the authority to borrow any more money because he's not negotiating in good faith and because the consequences of borrowing are odious and hateful and painful to generations of Americans not even born?
From my standpoint, unless we actually put in solutions that fix the problem, we're not going to be increasing that debt ceiling, which is why I wrote the president 2 weeks ago and said it's highly irresponsible to assume you're going to get an increase in the debt ceiling, and you better have a contingency plan, or you better start negotiating in good faith and actually start solving the problem. Those are kind of it's really what he has to do here. I hope he takes the latter and actually starts working with us and we fix the problem so we can increase that debt ceiling. I actually want to vote for it because that means we have solved the problem.
Senator Johnson, it's a pleasure. Thanks for joining us on Freedom Watch.
Thanks for having me on, Judge.
If your estranged wife is